So how do we pay our teachers more? That is a question that we attempted to answer about 6 years ago at Ranson IB Middle School, where I am the proud principal in Charlotte, North Carolina. And to answer that question, we had to think about school a little differently. And when I think about school differently, there is someone that comes to mind. Beyonce. Take a moment and think about all the different venues where Beyonce has performed. The Grammys, the Super Bowl, the BET Awards, Coachella, some of the largest venues in the US and in the world. But how does she get access to them? Well, let's think about her data. She has released 6 solo albums, and each one of them went straight to #1. Therefore, there is a 100% probability if Beyonce drops an album tomorrow, it will be #1. And with such a very, very clear impact, we want her to reach as many people as possible. So with great data should lead to access to a larger venue, which would lead to an even greater impact. Well, how does this apply to paying our teachers more? Well, there are Beyonce educators in every single school building dropping #1 albums in the form of mind-blowing results with kids year after year. So with this great data, they should receive access to a larger venue to lead to an even greater impact. But this is not traditionally the case in education because there's really only one venue, a classroom. At Ranson IB Middle School, 65% of our scholars come to us below grade level. So we do not have time to just wait on a Beyonce educator to magically show up at our doorstep or magically materialize over years and years. We have to be innovative and rethink how can we rethink our venues. Well, this is what we did. Meet Bobby Miles. He is a phenomenal science educator that joined our Ranson IB family 10 years ago. And it was very clear after a while that he was a Beyonce educator. He had some of the highest data in the district, and he was our teacher of the year within our district as well. But at the time, he was only reaching 120 students, which was only 10% of our school population. Today, he reaches 907 students, which is 100% of our school population, and how we did it was simply rethinking our venues. So we partnered with an organization called Public Impact to create a new role within our building called a multi-classroom leader. And Mr. Miles was one of our first multi-classroom leaders. In this role, he has 3 primary responsibilities. The first is that he creates the lesson plans for the entire science department. So we have 5 science teachers within our building, and every single day they are delivering a lesson plan created by Mr. Miles. So even though he cannot physically be in 5 places at once, his instruction is there. The second is he serves as the instructional coach for those 5 teachers. So every single week, he's sitting down for a coaching conversation with each one of those teachers individually and celebrating what's going really well in their classroom and identifying a bite-sized action step for them to take the next week to make it even better. And lastly, but not least, Mr. Miles still gets to be a teacher. Every single week, he's analyzing data with his teachers to determine where students are progressing towards mastery and where they need a little bit extra help. And through that data, he develops a tailored lesson plan specific to the needs of those students, and he delivers it in a small group setting. So we've created this new position called a multi-classroom leader, and actually today at Ranson, we have 9 multi-classroom leaders within our building, 1 over every single content area. But how does this actually pay our teachers more? Well, through my budget, I have flexibility to trade positions as well as create positions. And through my trading and creating, I can create the multi-classroom leader position, which adds an additional at least $16,000 on top of the base teacher salary for that teacher. So we've created these new positions. We are actually in year 6 of this model. So what has been the impact of having MCLs or multi-classroom leaders within our building? Well, first, our teachers are happier. There's been some conversation if it's fair to pay some teachers more than others, but our teachers truly value the support of their multi-classroom leader. We are making teaching more sustainable because no longer are teachers staying up late at night trying to figure out what they're teaching the next day. They have the support of their MCL. We are also creating an environment where our teachers enjoy coming to work because they are getting better faster. Every single week, they are receiving feedback from their Beyonce educator, who's an MCL, and they are growing, as opposed to the 3 times a year that our state requires that they receive feedback. They get feedback every single week. And lastly, but most importantly, our kids are growing. We are ranked 2nd in the district for our growth in English language arts and 3rd in the district for our growth in science. So opportunity culture is truly making a difference. We are able to create another pathway for our amazing teachers that isn't just becoming a principal, and so they're staying in our building longer. Opportunity culture makes a difference, and every single child deserves a Beyonce educator, not just one block out of the day or once a week, but every single block, every single day. And through opportunity culture, we are making that a reality. Thank you.